Alright, so I have my lye and my water measured out. So in here, this is my lye, and I have 3.92 ounces measured out. And here's my ice water, and it's 8.77 ounces. And so I'm going to combine this. We're going to check to see how hot it gets. It's going to get pretty hot. It'll melt these ice cubes pretty quickly, so you can watch that happen. And then I will end up going and completing the melting process of my oils. Okay, so I'm just going to get my my infrared thermometer out. I couldn't remember the name of it. It's this guy. So right now, let's see. It says it's 34 degrees. So we'll see how hot it gets and how fast. You're gonna always add your lye to the water, never your water to the lye. There's a cute little poem, or a cute little rhyme, I should say, that goes, water to lye and you will die. So maybe not so cute. So we're going to be adding the lye to the water. And I have my mask on. I probably sound muffled right now. I have the window open. I did turn off the vent right now because I have my mask on, so that you could hear me if I needed to talk. Okay, I'm going to rinse this out. I'm just going to stir this. Oh, that's hot. I don't know why I grabbed that, but yeah, that's hot. I'm going to try to show you closer view. I really don't want to mess with it too much though. Okay, so everything's melted right now. And 154 degrees. So it went from 34 to 154 that fast, and that was with ice. It's pretty cool to see the chemical reaction. Okay, so we're going to set this aside, and we're going to let it cool down to 100 degrees. Okay, and I'm going to finish melting my oils. So, and here's my rice bran oil, castor oil, and sunflower oil. And those are naturally just liquid at room temperature. So no need to melt those. They're already, done. So right now I'm just melting the coconut oil and the shea butter. And then I'll add it in here. And we'll wait for these oils to cool down to 110 degrees or so. It needs to be within 10 degrees of the light. Okay, so here are my oils. I'm gonna take my mask off real quick. So, okay, so here's my oils. I'm gonna see how hot these are. Oops, sorry. Let's see. Okay, so that's at 200. So once I add this to here, it's probably gonna cool it down a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm adding honey, and honey naturally will make your batter even hotter, and you don't want to, so like normally I'll soap at 120 degrees, but I'm gonna go down to 100 just to take account for the honey, because the honey will make the mixture even hotter. And there's something called alien brains, and I really don't want that. It just kind of makes your soap look funky just from getting too hot. It'll start kind of like bubbling out from the middle out, because the soap's just trying to find somewhere to go. It's just so hot. So I think it starts to like almost boil within itself. I'm not really 100% sure on that, but I do know that it makes things more hot. And I don't know like what it's called, if it's boiling or what, but the name for it is alien brains, which is kind of funny, just because it starts bubbling out. So I'd like to avoid that, because I try to create a pretty top and I want to keep it like that. So I have combined the hard and the soft oils, and I'm just gonna see how hot it is again. See where we're at with this. Okay. So now it says 119, 118. So once again, there's a big difference because the lye is 144. So see, it was 154, it's gone down 10. This was 200, but now it's gone all the way down to, now it's 117. So, I mean, this is like, you want it to be within 10 degrees. So even this part in soap making can be a little time consuming. Okay. What I can do if I want to though, is I can take this whole tub, and I can't, because it's already down to 114 degrees, but I still have a while to wait for the lye. But so I'm gonna have to wait for the lye to cool down, and by the time it's cool enough, this is gonna be down below 100 degrees, maybe even 20 degrees below. I don't know. So what I can do, I'm just giving an example. So what I can do is I can put this in the microwave and heat it up for like, I don't know, 10-second increments until it reaches within that 10 degrees. And that's perfectly fine. You're more than welcome to do that. So while I'm waiting, I did get a new whisk, and it's a strong one. It's got some power, so you got to be careful because there's only one setting, but it's called Simple Taste. So it's intended for food, but I'm using it for soap. I like it because it comes with a little stand, which I haven't had before, so that's kind of cool. So now while I'm waiting, I'm just going to mix my essential oils with my kaolin clay. And in here is the orange, grapefruit, and cedarwood essential oil, which I use, let me see, what was the percentage of that? Let me go see real quick. So it's 50% orange oil, 40% grapefruit, and 10% cedarwood. And it smells so good. And so this doesn't splash since it's so strong. I'll just like hold this part. Otherwise, and I kind of pinch it a little bit to slow it down and make sure it stays at the base of this container, because otherwise it's going to splash all over the place. But man, I was using like a plastic fork for a while and it just wasn't doing the job. This definitely helps and makes such a big difference. Okay, so got my oils over there, and I also have my honey. So I have 1 teaspoon of honey in here mixed with 1 teaspoon of warm water. Okay, so it looks like we're ready now. Our light is at 107 degrees, and let's see, the oils are at 95, so that's okay. It's a little over 10, but it's all right. So I'm going to combine the lye into the oils. I'm going to rinse this. Okay. So now I'm going to get my immersion blender. So when you put this in, you want to make sure that you're kind of tilting it. Did you see the bubbles that are coming out? Just make sure all the bubbles are out, because once you start it, you don't want it going pop everywhere. Okay, so my bubbles are out. I'm going to go back and forth immersion blending it and hand stirring it. I just want it to be at a light trace, and once it's at a light trace, I'm going to add my essential oils, clay mixture, and then my honey mixture. Stir a little bit more. So now I'll show you. Yeah, so it's at 98 right now. I think once the honey goes in, it'll get a little bit hotter. I'm gonna stir a little bit more. Okay. So you can tell it's like almost getting towards a medium trace, because it's but you can tell that everything's come together and blended well. There's no separation on my stick here. Okay, so I'm done with that part. And now I'll just hand stir everything else in. this lighting is not very good. Sorry. Okay. Maybe that's better. Alright, so now I need to blend this one more time because the clay is separating from my essential oils, which is normal. So I just want to get it nice and blended in. So the clay will help anchor the scent. It's also very soothing and it brings down the pH in a bar of soap. Alright, so in goes the essential oils and the honey solution. Alright, so now I'm just going to hand stir this. It's going to be interesting to see if it gets hotter. I'm going to go ahead and see how hot it is once I get this fully incorporated here. It's a lot like just mixing brownie batter. You gotta scrape the sides, and I mean, if you're really tired, you might mistake it for some kind of batter. It sure smells good. Like a, you know, lemon poppy seed cake batter, but this is with orange and grapefruit. It does almost smell like you could just stick your finger in there and have a little sample. But you will be disappointed, that's for sure. Okay, but that's not going to happen. So, we're not to that point yet. Okay. Okay, so let's see what the temperature is now. Oh, it's still at, well, it's at 99, so it's just gone up 1 degree. Alright, so everything is blended together. I'm just going to pour it into my mold. I want to mix a little bit more. I would like to have a thicker batter, I think. That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to start pouring into my mold now. Okay. This is a little awkward. I'm trying to adjust my standing light over here, and so I'm like shifting around, bumping into these. I feel like, okay, so here I'm trying to scrape all of my batter out, make sure I don't waste any or leave any behind. have some bubble wrap. And this is going to kind of look like honeycomb. So here's the bubble wrap. Hello, so we just watched the making of the cold process soap shampoo bar, and here it is. I've stamped it as you saw in the video. I love the top, it's really cool. This is created with bubble wrap, as you saw, and I was just gonna give you this recipe because why not? It's a recipe that I actually got out of one of my favorite books, and so it was shared with me from a soap maker, and it's tried and true, and she's been making soap for a lot longer than I have. So yeah, there's a couple things that I changed a little bit, but anyway, so I will share the recipe with you. So here's the time when you want to take notes. A couple things, like I said, were changed around in here for me, but so it's not going to be like, it's almost exactly just like this, but so it's 8.75 ounces of distilled water, 3.9 ounces of lye, sodium hydroxide, 8 ounces coconut oil, 3 ounces shea butter or mango butter, 10 ounces of rice bran oil, 3 ounces of sunflower or sweet almond oil, 4 ounces of castor oil, 1 teaspoon of honey mixed with 1 teaspoon of warm water. And then you can go on eocalc.com and you can formulate your own essential oil blend, or you can follow this. Even though it's a recommendation from in a book from a soap maker, I always run everything, fragrances and everything, through fragrance calculators, and even the lye through a lye calculator, just so I can see, you know, make sure that it is correct. You always want to verify, because you don't want to have a lye heavy bar of soap, and you don't want to be, you know, if you're getting your essential oils or your fragrances from another company, they might have it formulated a little bit different. Not typically with essential oils, but it's still good to see what their usage rates are. And then also just look at keep the IFRA in mind. Okay, so then the instructions, you know, you saw me do it, so you can kind of like follow along there if you want. I'm not going to read everything here. If you are watching soap videos, you will probably have gotten the hang of it by now on how to do it, especially since I just showed you in the whole video. But I did want to just talk a little bit about the oils, and you cannot make any claims, and a lot of people, you know, who are spending extra money on a bar this small, like this is going to be the same amount as some shampoo bottles. And so who in the world would want to get a bar of soap, shampoo soap like this, when they could go get a huge, you know, bar of Suave or herbal essences or Pantene or something like that at the store, or other companies. I don't even know. I know that Herbal Essences claims that they are phthalate free, which is good, but there's still a lot of ingredients there that I'm not aware, you know, of what they are. So who's going to be looking for a product like this? Somebody who's done their research. So what I'm trying to tell you, I guess, is even though you can't make claims to the benefits that are in this, people don't need you to. They've already done their research. If they think that there's no benefits to this, they would not be buying it. They would be going into the store and buying that, you know, $5 to $7 bottle of shampoo. So a lot of people want to buy these because they want to eliminate plastic. That's what I've heard. I've been having customers beg for these. So, not beg, but you know, like they just come by and they're constantly, I'm getting questions every single time I'm at the market. Like, hey, do you have shampoo bars? We really want to eliminate plastic. That's the thing I'm always hearing all the time. I want to get rid of plastic. I've done so well in my life in other areas eliminating plastic, but there's still these shampoo bottles that I'm constantly throwing out, and so they want to be able to eliminate that with something like this. And I do actually use shrink wrap, but I mean, it's such a tiny amount, you know, you can just ball that thing up in such a tiny amount that I'm not too worried about that. But for people who are more conscious, it's a good thing to have something like this. And not only that, but people do look to the ingredients. People who are buying this, it's not just all about the plastic bottle. They want to make sure they're getting good ingredients on their skin. So this bar does not have any colorants in it, any micas. It does not have any artificial, you know, synthetic fragrances. It has essential oils. So there's orange, grapefruit, and cedarwood, and I don't make any claims. I'm just reading right now off of the internet what, you know, .orgs and .net, you know, reliable sources. I don't usually look at .coms. I know that some of them can be reliable, but .orgs or .net or .info or .gov, you know, those are usually pretty reliable. But it says that orange oil can help with oil production, dandruff, it's antifungal, and grapefruit can keep your locks shiny, lustrous, helps with hair regrowth. Cedarwood is antiviral, reduces stress and tension, and it's antifungal. So again, I'm not making any claims. I'm just showing you what is found on the internet, which you can take this how you want it. And then castor oil, which is in here, brings moisture into the skin, gives a beautiful creamy lather, stimulates hair follicles. I can attest it does give a creamy lather, the castor oil. Coconut oil is a cleansing oil that makes soap bubbly. It's antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and antifungal. Shea butter is moisturizing and luxurious. I think that we can go by feel here and knowing that, yes, it does feel luxurious on our skin. And it's also high in vitamin A and E. And then rice bran oil is high in vitamin E, also and antioxidants, and it's very moisturizing. And then lastly, for the oils I use was sunflower oil, and it's vitamin E rich, and it has a nice lather and it's conditioning. So that is that. You can take it, you know, how you want, and I'll take it how I want, and I don't make any claims. Like, this is soap. It's soap. I'm not a dermatologist, you know, they can make all the claims they want, you know, with things that are synthetic or whatever, but I don't make claims. Anyways, you can go to your doctor if you have questions, your naturopathic doctor even, or, you know, people like that. But anyways, I hope that you try this recipe out, and I hope that you enjoy it. Or, you know, if you can't try it out, if you don't have the heart to make soap, and if you feel like you want to try it, go ahead and buy it from me. I'm at oldworldsoapshop.com, and either way, I hope you got something out of this video, and please like and subscribe if you would. That'd be great. And hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.